But unfortunately, some people are not law compliant. They just like to bully others because they feel they have the power to do so. If you respect your neighbor's rights, then I respect your rights, then we have power and we are all happy. So the law is here for everybody, and nobody is above the law.
Dr. Carlo, one thing I observe, I don't know, it might be your background, you're a Creole, and of course, you like dressing up.
Yes. Well, they say the first impression goes a long way. So it goes to dress up very well. I don't like being shabby, because as a lawyer as well, you should have a dress code.
Yes, absolutely.
So in fact, even if you go to court with a wrong color of dress, we call them sober colors, maybe blue or black, the judge will tell you that your color of the dress is so loud, I cannot hear what you're saying. That's a metaphorical way of saying that you have not complied with the dress code. So you must have to be elegantly dressed. I think it's just...
And there is a dress code for lawyers as well.
Yeah, of course, they do.
Absolutely.
And also we have what they call the General Legal Counsel, which is the regulatory body. Yesterday they called ceremony. If you are there, you will see them at the head table. And the Chief Justice is the chairman, and the Attorney General is the deputy chairman. And also we have the Code of Ethics for lawyers. What we have done is that we have taken it to Parliament to amend the Approaches Act to make sure that we have this thing enforced. So everything is, I think, is being in tandem with best practices.
Doctor, the Gambia has gone, you're a consumer, of course. The Gambia has gone, introduced the VAT, value added tax. I'm sure you must have been taken aback when probably you were buying a bottle of Evian water, you go to the shop and somebody decides he has to add $2 or $1. Have you experienced something like that?
Yes, I've experienced that, exactly. But what the experts are saying, I'm the expert in financial affairs. I do not claim to be one, because that will be intellectual dishonesty. But all I can tell you is that they were saying that the law should come into effect as on 1st January. But some enterprises have gone ahead and have increased their products. And then there was a press conference about a week ago, during which they were told that some people are exempted from this tax. So if you are exempted, and then you have increased your products, that means that you are violating the law. And you may be taken to task for that. So, I mean, the price, if you are exempted, you must not increase your prices. They should remain stagnant.
The explanation given by some of them is that, I mean, they buy this at a different price. The price has gone up, so they also decide to go up. Even when those people who are selling at the corner shops, they're less than $500,000, which makes them people who can just go and register VAT, not compulsory, but on their own volition.
Yes.
Okay? But these are the ones who are actually below the $5.5 million who are busy increasing. I think a box of match now is $1.50 butut.
Yes. What I'm saying is that, see, before the law came into force, some people had got the old stock in their warehouses. Those stocks must not be increased. If you import after the law has been introduced, and you pay the VAT, and you are likely to pay the VAT, then you can increase those incoming products, not those that were kept there before. It's not fair on the consumer. I think you have to get some watchdogs or inspectors to go around to find out that at the point of entry, there is no evidence to show that these goods are pre-VAT or post-VAT. If you have a stamp on these bags of rice or sugar or oil, which are already exempted, or other products, then you can be able to track them down. But if they are not stamped, how will you know whether this particular commodity is pre-VAT or post-VAT? You have a difficulty.
Doctor, let me take you on this legal one. In law there's what they call precedent law, which sometimes forms a good chunk of decisions of the courts in making rulings. I mean, there's a lot of precedent law to enable the judge to make a ruling on a case.
Or a magistrate.
Yeah, or a magistrate, okay. What case that has taken place in the Gambia and a ruling was made that you marvel at, that you really admired?
Well, let me start with the doctrine itself. Now, the leading case on that, or the locus classicus, is called Young versus Bristol Aeroplane Company. It means that if a judge or a magistrate is presiding over a particular case, if the facts similar to that case had been decided by a previous court which is superior to that court in the court hierarchy, and the facts are similar, then that court below is bound to follow that previous decision.
That's precedent. That's
binding precedent. It's called binding precedent.
Binding precedent.
But where the facts are different, or where the previous decision was given by incurium, that means by ignorance or error of the law, then the inferior judge or magistrate is not bound to follow. Are you together?
I do.
So where the previous decision on all four with the present case was rightly decided and is good law, then you are bound to follow. If we don't follow and you give a judgment against that, then the losing party can appeal on a point of law to get a decision reversed.
So what decision has been taken in the court that you really marveled at, that you said, wow, that was a good piece of judgment?
Well,
because you all buy cases anyway, but at the judiciary.
Well, I'm also a member of the National Council for Law Reporting. Yes, and the chairman of that council is the Court of Appeal president. Now, we sit together, we compile all the judgments of the Superior Court of Judicature. That is the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. And we publish these books, and they are sold to lawyers and to law students for them to do their research. You know, and they are all compiled, they are put out in black volumes, and we are about to launch these volumes very soon. But the thing is that once there is a previous decision on the matter, which is being looked upon by a president, judge or magistrate, you at the court below, you are bound to follow. You have no choice. That's why it's called binding precedent. It's binding on you. If it's not binding, it's persuasive. Some other lawyers go outside and quote All England Law reports, or they quote Nigeria Law reports, or Ghana Law reports, or the WACA, the South African Court of Appeal. Because remember, before we got our Supreme Court, we used to go to WACA or Privy Council in London. But those cases are now persuasive. They are not binding. But if a lawyer quotes a law which is homegrown, he has an edge over you. And that case will sway the judge or the magistrate to your side, and he will win the case.
Doctor, on a final note, what would you cite today as your best moments in the judiciary?
I'm not in the judiciary. I mean the Ministry of Justice.
In the Ministry of Justice.
There are 3 arms of government. According to the doctrine of separation of powers,
yes.
You have the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Good. So I'm in the executive, under the Ministry of Justice.
Good. What would you cite in the Justice Ministry as having been your best of times?
Best of times. I think my best of times were the days when I was a legal clerk. When I just came from school, trying to grapple, feel the terrain, and understand what it involves, and trying to work towards my dream of becoming a lawyer. So I found those days very exciting. They were very adventurous. And when I went to study in Oxford eventually, I found it very easy. It was a smooth sailing. Because by then I've got a grip of things and got a first-hand experience on the job. So I found it very, not challenging as such. It was I went to the 4 years very quickly. And there was no hiccup at all. And I thank God for that.
Well, thank God that we were able to sit down
yes.
and have this wonderful interview. Dr. Carroll, thank you very much for being my guest.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Thank you.
Well, that was my guest tonight on the program, Dr. Carroll. Of course, his full name, like I said, Dr. Henry Darlington Richmond Carroll is Oxford-trained lawyer, Doctor of Laws, senior university law lecturer, writer, musician, and table tennis champion. Join me, Malik Jones, next week for another edition of The Interview. Good night.
On the team.
I have everything under control.
Okay, so how are we doing?
We could be doing better. Let us know what's in the MC guy.
This team is unfit. No more smoking, no more drinking, and women are a big distraction.
Doctor, I'm a manager. I would threaten every day and not
Maybe I can talk to the council.
Oh, my
friend Beans, he really needs some money so that his mother gets urgent medical attention.
Or $80.
I'm not going. What? I have a shot for the big city bullets.
No one cares what I want.
Which is the dream, bro.
Dreamers for life.